I'm not out here to lie to anybody. I want them to know the truth and to research where they live.
But then how do clouds exist? How do clouds exist?
Well, they just exist.
Well, then how do they move? Where did they go
How
after
come they don't float away into space?
Because of the Earth's atmosphere.
Physics and logic on a level supreme. It's a curved reality, splitting flurf dreams.
Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the like button, hit the bell icon so you know when new videos are put up. Now let's get into it and watch Mikey get cooked. Hey folks, how's it going? Curious UK here, once again doing a, sort of a Mikey review again. This is from the previous stream he did, which I think was something like Canada's a great country or something. The one he got ran off the property by the police and he was kind of raging out. He ended up going from there. He went to another kind of pavilion festival thing where a bunch of East Indian and different stuff was going on there, and he sat there in a parking lot and with his sign and doing this shit that he always does, and a few people came up, but in particular he had some about 12-13-year-old kid come up, and Mikey ends up getting absolutely cooked by this kid. It's actually quite funny to watch. This kid simply dead calm, dead collected, and he just pretty much just had Mikey pinned down on so many different things. The kid got a few things wrong because he's only young, and a few things I think he didn't know the finer details and stuff like that. But for the most part, he was right on a lot of different things, and even got Mikey to admit a few things that he just doesn't know. And then Mikey just started just doing this whole mantra that, oh, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. And even the fact the kid even kind of pinned him down on that a little bit. So it's quite funny. And so I thought I'd just check this out, and I'll throw some commentary in here and there, and hopefully I'll make this video too long. All right, let's get into it. So you can see the kid there. Then he watched Mikey was kind of looking at his camera, and this kid comes around the car looking at some of the things that Mikey has on his car for his signs and stuff. And I kind of looked it over, and Mikey goes over and gives him one of his pamphlets, one of his garbage pamphlets. I've already debunked this, like last year I did this. So if you want to check that out, check out that video in which I went over Mikey's pamphlet he gives out, and it's just a lot of like Eric Dubé bullshit that I completely got destroyed on. I destroyed him on that. It's been debunked so many different times. Check that out. Now I'm going to fast forward a little bit through this because you can't really hear what they're saying because they're too far away from Mikey's camera. I thought he had like a lapel mic that he got last year, but it's like he used it once, he's never used it again. It's kind of weird. I don't know why he doesn't do that. It'd make it for much better content. I'll go through this and we'll get to the point where you can start actually hearing what they're saying. Now, I have tried to take the music down because it's quite loud in this video, so you can hear the voices a bit better. So if he sounds a little bit funny, it's just because I was trying to reduce the music in the background and bring the voices forward a bit. So let's go.
So this is a real star. I've recorded that as a video, and that's the star Sirius. Okay, now if you look up the star Sirius on Google, all NASA is going to show you is a bright white light. Because it's all computer generated. That's an actual real star. There's like a frequency that goes in and out. You should look into it, man. What?
How did the military be able to guard it?
Oh, easily. Well, we can only go so far. And then get in, like I said, the horizon's horizontal. You see that with your own two eyes. It doesn't curve or bend or... Pardon?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. I don't see it anywhere. Saskatchewan's flat.
You can't see because like...
So far away, right?
Yeah, the current is far away.
Yeah, but if we go higher, we'll see more flatness.
This is often a misunderstanding by flat earthers. They just don't understand scale, and the fact is how big the Earth is and how small we are in comparison. So yeah, we have to go quite high up to start seeing curvatures from left to right. so you get a bigger field of view. But the sea curvature looking away from you, like especially over something very vast distance where you can see a long distance, like over the ocean and stuff like that, the curvature is easily observable, especially the effects of the curvature. So like we can only see part of buildings or see ships, large ships disappear over the horizon, disappear bottom up. That's the effects of the curvature of the earth. And I got observations of that. I put something up just recently where I showed a series of different pictures I took off of the beach over the Irish Sea, and you can clearly see the effects of the curvature of the earth from a ship as it's going. As I walk down the beach a little bit and you see the ship off in the distance, you can see less and less, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, it's not hard to see the curvature of the earth, but yeah, you had to go quite high up to see left to right curvature because we're very small, Earth's very big.
That's without satellite.
No, I mean like if we went physically ourselves.
Like
I don't trust
space-
satellites. No, space doesn't exist.
space is how the other planets are.
Well, when you look at pictures on your phone, actually study them. They're not actual real photos. They're just pictures, images.
And if space doesn't exist, then how is stars?
Pardon?
How is stars?
Well, they're connected to the firmament above us. There's a dome above us, and I've recorded that myself too. And there's no depth to the stars, so there's no stars here, not here, not here. They're all side by side.
That's a lot of claims that Mikey's made. Yeah, he can't substantiate any claim he's made there. The fact that he says the stars are side by side, and yet he can't prove that. He has no evidence, nor can he show how he measured that. I did a short the other day, check it out, in which I showed street lights, but when I took the contrast down and everything, I manipulated it so you can see just lights. Well, it looked like they're side by side, but when I brought in the image where I got it from, you can see that actually I'm looking down the road. So there is depth, but when you look at something very distant to a background, and very distant lights, all you can see is just the lights themselves, then you can't tell, especially looking through a camera, depth of field. You just don't have that. And I've showed this before, we're looking like a distant tree, there's a tree further behind it, but we have one in front of the other. You can't tell which one's which until you move to the side, in which then you could see that the one was actually behind the building and one was in front of the building, so there's actually depth. But looking at it straight on, you couldn't tell a difference. So yeah, Mikey makes these claims all the time, but yeah, he's never been able to substantiate any of them.
When NASA launches rockets, they go like this, and they arc out into the ocean. And you can see that.
How about the big black beach?
The government lies to us. Don't trust anybody. Adults lie all the time.
Just like you, Mikey, you're lying right now to this kid. So yeah, well, a lot adults don't lie all the time, but a lot of adults do lie, and you're lying to him right now. Rockets don't do that, and you've already been showing this, and this has been debunked hundreds, if not thousands of times, but you just deny it because it hurts your little feelings.
Like, what benefit would the government have?
To control us. From exploring where we actually live. Yeah, well again, but they would try to control us from even reaching that.
Well, how did the government come down to that? And then they would just...
Well, like I said, they're just controlling. They don't want us to know what's beyond a certain distance. Like, if you do the research and you actually think about stuff, like again, we use water as a leveling tool. Okay? That level thing we use, and when we're leveling the ground and stuff like that, that contains water and a few other ingredients in it. And water remains level when it rests. Okay, so we're not going to be able to bend that water over a surface. It's always going to remain level at the top.
It's just a globe, so the water...
No. But how does it do that? Water doesn't bend. It can't contain itself.
Yeah, that's why it's spilled over.
No, I know, but you can't do that. The water remains level.
I guess, Mikey, you don't know as much about water as you think you do, because water has surface tension. You can have droplet of water, and it's literally containing itself. It's not spilling over. If you fill a glass, so you get the meniscus on the top that curves over, that's the water surface tension of the water containing itself. And water does bend. Water is very, very flexible. It bends around anything and everything. As for your thing you say about the water levels, well, one, you're referring to the surface of the earth. Levels is essentially where it's conforming to the curved surface of the earth. That's pretty much the definition, if not word for word. Your water level, your little level that you use, is measuring a downward vector at that certain point. Now, a water level at the very most is what, 2 or 3 feet long at the very, very most. Like the big construction ones don't get much bigger than that, really. How much curvature are you going to experience over 3 feet? That water level can't measure that much precision. It's just not capable of doing it. It'd be so microscopic that the deviations in the material itself would be more than what the curvature of the earth would be. Like I said, water levels, all they're measuring is the downward vector at that point, being the gravitational pull of the earth. If you take that water level, put it in a bucket, and swing the bucket around above your head, it would measure level, but it's measuring that way, being level, because it's due to how much force is pulling on it and pulling that way. In this case, it's the force of gravity, which has been and can be proven is probably the most proven and tested force on this planet. So yeah, sorry buddy, I hurt your feelings, but explain the Cavendish experiment, explain the Pound-Rebka experiment. No flat earthers ever been able to do that. They only just run away and deny it.
So like carbon dating evidence of like dinosaurs, like a meteor. No, but how do meteors strike the dinosaurs? There's carbon dating.
No, I know, blah, blah, blah. The government lies, man. Just don't trust everything you hear on TV.
That kid there just started spitting facts. And Mikey couldn't handle it, so that's where he gets to blah, blah, blah. They all just lie, because that's all he has. This is his mantra. He repeats over and over and over. Whenever something's said that he doesn't like, he just goes, oh, blah, 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 and just hand waves it away, because he can't debunk it, and it's just too much for him. This kid's smarter than Mikey.
Trust me.
The government lie about something that happens.
I don't know. Why do our parents lie to us? Why do people lie? I don't know. That's what they do. I'm not out here to lie to anybody. I want them to know the truth and to research where they live.
But then how do clouds exist? How do clouds exist?
Well, they just exist.
Well, then how do they move? Where did they go
How come they don't float away into space?
Because of the Earth's atmosphere.
What about pressure?
The atmosphere keeps them from moving up.
Yeah.
Now, obviously here, the kid, being like 12 years oldish, he doesn't realize. He says what keeps the clouds from floating away. He sees the atmosphere. I don't think it's exactly true. I think what it is the fact that obviously the buoyant force and the clouds, and the clouds obviously have a mass. So it comes to the buoyant force pushing up, gravity is pulling them down, and you get the equilibrium when the two forces will equal each other out. The buoyant force is up, the force going down, and you have where they float at certain levels. There's some clouds that they disperse, they don't have as much density in one spot. You get ones that are higher up at different levels, and then you have ones that can obviously be lower, and then you've got fog, which is like pretty much just clouds are on the ground. That is what clouds are. Nowadays, you can have updrafts, you can have obviously thermals and stuff like that, depending on the temperature and stuff like that, which is also, thermals and stuff do play a part in that, where the clouds sit in the atmosphere and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. So it's kind of not right what the kid said about it being the atmosphere. It's more to do with the fact of the gravitational pull and the buoyant force pushing up. That's about it.
What if we're told they weigh millions of pounds, these clouds? Why don't they fall to the ground?
Because the atmosphere moves.
I don't know, man. I don't know how clouds work.
And they're gases. so they can't fall.
So they say.
And that's a weird response for Mikey. The kids said they're gases, they can't fall. And Mikey's response is, so they say. Mikey, are you denying that clouds are gas? Like they're gaseous vapor that's accumulated in the atmosphere? That is literally just water vapor? I mean, really? Are you just going to deny everything or what? You know, just because you don't understand it, you're going to deny it? That's fucking weird, dude.
But I don't know, clouds have nothing to do with the shape of the earth, but
Like people went skydiving and like you can just face through clouds because they're gases.
yeah, and when you go skydiving, when you're not using a GoPro camera,
Yeah.
the horizon's horizontal still.
No, there's a curve.
No, there's no curvature.
If you see a ship going, it'll eventually just disappear.
Because we don't see so far.
What exactly mean we don't see so far? So how far do we see, Mikey? So when I showed my observations, I'll put up here, of the ship disappearing bottom up. Why is it that I can see the antennas, I can see the mast, I can see the wheelhouse, I can see everything on? You know, that's all attached to the ship, right? It's like that's the same place as the hull. And also when I took these pictures, lower down ones, where you can't see the hull of the ship, I was actually closer because I went down the beach and I was actually standing in the water. So why is it I can't see the bottom of the ship, but I'm actually closer? And then there's parts of the ship I can see that are at the same place as the ship, and actually technically pretty further away because I'm on the water, so the hull would actually be closer to me if I was standing next to the ship, and all those other bits would be a lot further up. That makes no sense. Your reasoning falls apart. Sorry, bud.
How can you prove that?
Well, easy. I have a really powerful camera, and you can bring that, you can zoom back into that boat once you think it's been gone.
Yeah, remember the kids said ship, not little tiny boat. And no flat earther has ever shown that in the history of the earth, history of time. No flat earther has ever shown a ship, a large ship, container ship, cargo ship, whatever, a cruise liner, whatever, disappear, bottom up, and then use a powerful telescope, powerful camera, whatever the hell you want to use, and make the whole ship come back into view. It's never happened in the history of the flat earth or anything else. So nope, Mikey, you're wrong. You've never done it, and neither has anybody else. It's funny that you keep saying that it's been done, because Mikey, your standard of evidence is, have you done it? And that's something you have never done, Mikey.
You can't see something after because there's a curve.
No,
And the ships go over the horizon.
no, we just don't see forever.
Like it's been proved before.
No, but you have to prove it for yourself.
So remember, Mikey's standard evidence is you haven't done it yourself. You have to prove it and do it yourself. Remember that one, because it comes up in a second here.
It's been proved by millions of people.
No, but you do it. Millions of people have lied.
I've seen both. And I've seen.
No, I know that, but you didn't have a camera to zoom back into that boat, which you think or appear to be over the curve.
I guarantee you, that kid's seen a boat go over the horizon. If you had a camera, even the P1000, P1100, fucking, if you had a freaking massive, like, you know, 14-inch telescope, all he's going to see is exactly what you can see with his eyes, but bigger. That's all it is. All of the telescopes, binoculars, cameras, all they do, zoom, it just makes what you can see bigger. You're not going to see any more. So you wouldn't zoom it back in. You get the biggest zoom, you got the freaking P-Flurf 1 million if you want. It's still not going to bring the hull of that boat back up.
Yeah, but eventually you can see it like starting to leave, like from our perspective.
No.
And that's because it's going over the curve.
No.
Also,
See, like I've even got like everything here. Like, so, okay, so do you know how big the Earth is? What's the size in miles?
like the radius,
Yeah.
I think it goes like 100. I think it goes like 130,000.
Yeah, it's 24,901 miles. So at that rate, the average curvature rate is 8 inches per mile squared. So after even just as little as 10 miles, there should be 60 feet of curvature.
I feel for the kid here because obviously he's asking these questions. He knows a lot of people don't even know they discovered stuff of the earth. He brings it to 8 inches per mile squared, which you look that up, that if you know how to use it properly. Now, I know Mikey's just parroting shit he's heard from Derek Dubé, because I'm pretty sure that's his Papa Flurf. 8 inches per mile squared is only the drop off a tangent. And it's only taken from sea level from the ground. So the only way for that to actually work is if you're laying, or if you're in a hole and your eyes are level with the ground, looking out at sea level across like the ocean, then it's the drop you'd have as you go out. It'd be the drop off the tangent of the straight line as you look straight out. If your eyes are level to the downward vector, that's all that is, and it's only an approximation, and it only works for very short distances. The curvature of the Earth is 1 degree per 69 miles because curvature is measured in degrees of deflection. That's what it is. So, yeah, Mikey just parroting shit. Unfortunately, because he's talking to a kid, that's why he's not getting triggered, because he's only a 12-year-old and Mikey feels superior. So, but he's just quoting bullshit that he's heard. And he's parroting off his Papa Flurf. Also, Mikey, have you measured that curvature rate yourself? Have you measured that 8 inches per mile squared? I don't think you have. So you haven't done it yourself, Mikey. Does it really count? Your standard of evidence, not mine.
Minimum. But we don't see that anywhere. You could look straight west of here on the highway going to Moose Jaw, and there is absolutely no curvature between here and Moose Jaw. There should be 1,500 feet of curvature.
Because the view's getting blocked by other objects.
No, you can see it. If you go up on the bypass over here with the bridges, you can see Moose Jaw with binoculars. You can look back this way and you can see the buildings downtown from 70 kilometers away.
Is it true, Mikey? Prove it. Show me the video. Show me the pictures. I don't believe you. I've been asking for this for ages, and yet you still haven't shown me something like that. I said show me the Rocky Mountains from where you are. Show me the Calgary. Show me Calgary Tower. Show me the TELUS building, or I think it's Exxon or whatever the heck it is now. Show me the mountains. I want to see Chief Mountain. You should see it, no problem. Should be straight west from you. Show me Moose Jaw from your overpass. You've never shown me anything. I've challenged you with this, and yet nothing. I don't believe you. You're talking shit, Mikey, and you know you can just bullshit this poor kid. But guess what? We know you're lying.
There is a curve, but you just can't use it because it's only 8 inches
Per mile, but that means there should be 1,500 feet. That's pretty high, 1,500 feet of curvature.
Also, like the east-west circumnavigation.
Yeah.
That doesn't really.
Airplanes have never gone this way around the ball. It's always this way.
Well, once again, I'm only commenting on this in here because this kid wouldn't know this, being a 12-year-old kid. You know, he does say it, but just to show some evidence. Mikey, what he said there, completely fucking wrong. Factually, empirically wrong. And it's because Mikey's never done any research. He's claimed planes have never flown north to south and circumnavigated the globe. Yeah. That's wrong, Mikey, and I know you've been told this before, but for those who don't know, I'll put up a couple things here, and I'll show you what I mean. So, first is going to be this one here. So, this one here. So, back in 2021, I think, we had the pandemic, all that shit going, and Australia had a bunch of Patriots Pats there in Brazil, and they needed to recover them back. I think they worked for Qantas or something like that. They need to recover them back. So they have QF-14. It has the record for the longest commercial flight so far in history. It went from Buenos Aires in Brazil, and it had to fly straight non-stop to Darwin, Australia. And they did this by going over the Antarctica. So they flew from Brazil under the globe, come to the side, non-stop. It was a I think extended range 747, something like that. Don't quote me on the plane. And it had very minimal crew on it. So no pass, the only way it was very basic crew. Crows kicking off there. They had very basic crew, obviously no luggage, and they only had to go and pick up, I think it was like 10 people or something like that. So they were able to load the plane up with loads of fuel, very light compared to normally how it flies. And they were able to, they flew around and came back to repatriate a bunch of pats that were stuck in Brazil. Holds the record. So this first one there is up. This happened in 2021. It was all over the news. Mikey should know about it. Didn't do his research. So you got that. So Mikey's saying it's never gone under the underneath on the north to south, like going from under. That's empirically wrong. You can look this up. QF 14. Here's the other one here. This is several different flights. So we have obviously the one Sydney to Santiago, very commonly done usually several times a week. Funny enough, especially more in the southern summer. So when summertime down there, you get a lot more traffic. Do we have from Sydney to Johannesburg? Once again, these all go under the Great Circle Route, which goes very close to Antarctica. Then we have from Johannesburg to Sao Paulo, and then we have obviously going back to Australia, right? All these are completely verifiable, bookable, flyable, and people often do several times a week take these flights. These flights exist, they happen, they falsify the flat earth, completely destroys the flat earth, because if you look at these flight paths on the flat earth, do not work whatsoever. They would be physically impossible for the planes to make that flight. This would not happen. Especially you look at Mikey, he claims that the outer circumference of the earth, like where the ice wall is, because I said have to go along the ice wall, is like 60 some thousand miles. So distances would be physically impossible. The only way that could happen is the planes would have to double their speed that they are capable of doing, which would rip the wings off those planes. They just would not be able to work. The planes are physically not able to do that. They would be destroyed if they went to that speed, because we're talking double the speed they're designed to go. Not going to happen. So these flights here exist, are bookable, flyable, and trackable, and they happen and completely destroy the flat earth fallacy. I'd say, so for a few more examples here, and then we'll move on with this. Just kind of drive my point home, because why not? It's fun. Is this video here. This is actually a little clip from a video I did about a year ago, in which I actually broke down a bunch of different flights that circumnavigated the globe throughout history. Now there's even more. I didn't cover like one more orbit, which was, I think, is the repeat of the Pan Am 50, Flight 50 that was done way back in like the 1960s. But that's in here, and a few more. So let's check it out here. It's a clip where we're gonna clip from my video that I did about a year ago, and broke down a bunch of different flights, tracked them. I found the history on their itineraries, where they went, and tracked them, and show how they work perfectly on the globe and don't work on the flat earth. Check it out. That was Pan Am's 50th anniversary flight, in which they decided to circumnavigate the globe. There's a few details on it, and I'll plot that out on the globe now. Let's start with here. Let's start where they started, San Francisco. Now they flew up, went around the North Pole, came across, landed down in London. Then they refueled and they took off from there. They headed down to South Africa, pardon me. Refueled there, stopped, went across the Arctic, stopped in New Zealand, which he couldn't remember the name of. Yes, New Zealand. And then they went back up to the US, all the way around again, just to show you that was actually a circumnavigation of the globe. Yeah, that actually was a mission that was designed by a admiral. There's several different pilots, and they actually put on a bunch of scientists, as well as there was extra tanks in that plane to be able to extend its range even further. Here's a few things on the article. You can look this up easily. I'll plot this out on the globe. So they started off in Hawaii. They flew up the Pacific, across Alaska, around the Arctic pole, landed in London. Now this one here, they had restrictions on what they could actually fuel up, so they had to stop again in Portugal to fuel up the rest of the way. There's something to do with the runway in London, so they stopped in Portugal, fueled up the rest of the way there, and then they were They flew off over. They stopped over in Brazil, I believe. It was Buenos Aires, Argentina. And they continued on. They actually went down to the Antarctica, and they actually flew around 4 times. Yes, they circumnavigated the continent 4 times. Then they stopped in New Zealand, the country that this fella can't seem to remember. They fueled up there, and then they took off from there, and they were able to fly back up and land back in Hawaii once again. So there you are, once again, circumnavigation globe. And in fact, that they circumnavigated Antarctica 4 times in the plane. And lovely, eh? Right for those scientists. I'll give you a quick idea here. They did actually go all around, and then they went round, spin around Antarctica. Lovely. Then, of course, there was the mission, which I think was some Chinese billionaire wanted to redo a flight. I think it was called Fram. So it did Fram 2. This happened in, I think it was 2024, 2023, around there. SpaceX, so Fram 2. They orbited the globe north to south several times, and they went over top of Antarctica. And here's a clip I'll show you here, which they actually took pictures, video, and everything as they went over Antarctica, looking out the Dragon capsule. Instead of having the docking port, what they did is they fitted it with like a observation kind of port thing. So it was like a glass kind of bubble that they could sit in, and they could take loads of pictures, well documented. This they I think they live streamed it, talked to people and everything, so check it out.
And I think we are at about 120 degrees east.
John's been waiting for this moment all his life. I'm very happy for you, John.
Incredible! Look at it! So beautiful! Oh, wow! Wow!
You would not believe how much fun it is. And how are you? It is mind-boggling up here. It is so much fun. Oh my God, check this out. Onto Anthony's hat. See the horizon?
Yeah, so that pretty much wraps that up there. Completely debunked everything that Mikey said. He's just an idiot. Never done any research, just believes what his pop-up flips tells him, or whatever he can come up with in his imagination, his fantasy land. That's all he's got.
No one's ever flown underneath the ball and come up on the other side.
It's goes east to west.
Airplanes don't fly upside down, they fly straight and level.
The reason they do that is because
You got the answers for everything, eh?
that's the reason the poles exist. The reason the Earth doesn't orbit up to down, it orbits side to side.
Well, it doesn't move. We're not moving. We're stationary.
We don't move. The Earth does.
No.
The Earth is.
Where? What do you mean we're moving? We're moving right now? How do you prove that?
Because the Earth's gravitational force keeps us.
No, we're not moving, man. We're stationary. The Earth isn't moving. When there's an earthquake, the Earth moves. Not now. We're stationary.
The Earth has this weird, Earth's
just-
gravitational pull is like.
No. You're just repeating stuff that you've been told, which is a complete lie. I've done all this research. I've been doing this for 10 years.
Earth weighs trillions of kilograms, so it has bigger gravitational pull.
Have you ever measured it?
Also, like, when they can magnet, they also have like a gravitational pull, like the sun.
Gravity doesn't exist. Huh? That's just magnets.
They have a gravitational pull, which sucks.
Yeah, well, that's from the magnet itself.
Unfortunately, both of them are wrong here. Mikey, gravity has been proven, has been measured. It's quite easy, and the Earth's motion, you can measure that easy. Falkland's pendulum, or just a gyroscope, like Bob Nadell, who measured the Earth's rotation with a ring laser gyroscope. So thanks, Bob. Rest in peace. Thanks for proving the rotation of the Earth. But yeah, easily done. And unfortunately, kid's wrong. magnetism isn't gravity. Magnets don't have a gravitational pull as a magnetic pull, and only works on ferrous metals, ferrous materials. Something like, you know, obviously magnet doesn't work on wood or rubber, plastic, non-ferrous materials. So, which also falsifies the idea that magnetism is gravity, because magnetism has a push and pull force to it. Gravity only has a pull force. Gravity doesn't repel anything, only pulls things down. So, we understand magnetism, we understand gravity. So yeah, they're unfortunately they're both wrong here. And but you know, the kid's like 12 years old, so better forgive him. Mikey, on the other hand, Mikey's just an idiot.
Well, the air can't support it. Buoyancy and density. That's why helium balloons rise and a rock will fall.
That's because air is dense.
Yeah, exactly. That's why helium rises. Because it's lighter than air. And if it was heavier than air, it would just fall.
Yeah, which is why like when you top it off.
Yeah, but it's not due to gravity. It's just heavier than the air. There's no force pulling it down.
If gravity didn't exist, then it's still fall side to side.
Why would it fall side to side?
Because gravity pulls things either down or up.
Yeah, that's up and that's down. What about on a ball?
Then how'd you know?
That way and that way? There's only one up and one down.
The reason the Earth orbits that way is because there's pulls.
We're not orbiting, we're not moving, we're not spinning. Totally stationary. No. Evidence that has never been proven. No. How would you prove that there's curvature if you can never see it? You'd go to Google and look up a picture, a fake picture? Have you ever measured the curve? Neither have I, because I can't do it. Never will.
Man, the insecurity of Mikey because talking to a 12-year-old like this, has he measured the curve? Mikey, you haven't measured anything. You make loads of claims, never shown a single measurement. You never even measured to say that the Earth is flat. You never shown a single measurement. Your laser test you claim has been debunked, and in fact actually works fine on the globe Earth when you look at the distance and how light refracts and moves, and how lasers actually diverge from the source. Is easily explained, and isn't actually proof that every flat Earth, nor is it a measurement. So sorry buddy, but you've never done any measurements to prove the Earth is flat. So stop trying to bully this 12-year-old.
No. Scientists know nothing. They just know how to brainwash people.
Well, how can you prove that? How can you prove that?
Oh, easily. There's no curvature anywhere.
Well, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's
Yeah, but I can go 10 miles in the air and still not see curvature.
see curvature.
No. You don't see curvature in an airplane. We've sent a balloon to 20 miles and there's no curvature yet.
You sure about that, Mikey? Here, let me show you something. Here's a little a screenshot from a video done by Wolfie6020, who is actually a pilot that flies, I think it was the Airstream he was in. So a personal jet. They fly quite high, quite fast. He took this picture out of the cockpit window, so you can see on there the heads-up display. And he took this with a, I think it was an iPhone, that he actually proved that there's no distortion to the lens. He actually took a picture in the hangar where all the straight lines, everything's straight, so there's no distortion of his lens. Obviously, there's no distortion from pilot's window, because it's completely illegal. But yet, as you can see there, it shows that there's a curvature to the horizon. And also the horizon is below eye level. So yes, from a plane, if you have a wide enough field of view, like from the cockpit window where you have a fairly wide field of view, you can see quite clearly that there's curvature from a plane. Thanks for playing. Oh, and also you can see that as Phase say this using Walter Bislin's Advanced Earth Curve Calculator, when you put in the altitude of this plane, the distance, and all the numbers that were from the video, it matches perfectly to what would be predicted on the globe. If the Earth was a globe, the size we say it is, and the distances was from it. So, yes, globe confirmed. Sorry to hurt you and hurt your feelings there, Mikey.
No. Space doesn't exist. No, space doesn't exist. That's all CGI. I'm telling you that. People are lying to people. It's not good. Goes in a circle. It's setting over there. Right now, you can see that. When the light goes there. So it's going back, going around, come around this way in the morning. It's going further away and it's really close right here. But it's about 10,000 miles that way. And it's close and local. It's like this. So if this was the sun, it's like this. The sun's going like this. Moving around like this. We're over here and the sun's over here and it's just going over here. So I'm good. Huh? When it's dark out, how does the sun reflect light off the moon when it's dark out?
Because the earth is here, the sun is here, and then the moon is beside the earth. The sun reflects light off the moon.
Yeah, but you would have, the sky would be lit up for that to happen. You have to have line of sight to light stuff. That's why there's shadows. What? You have to look at it yourself? No, that's not provable at all.
So Mikey's still trying to explain, like, he's showing his kid, if he didn't get it, how the sun, he thinks the sun does this above the flat earth, shit like that, right? All stuff that's been disproved, like, millions of times, right? Then he asks the kid, how can the sun reflect off the moon? Now, this has been explained to Mikey countless times, including myself. In fact, I tagged him in a video in which I showed him how the different phases can work off, bouncing off a rock, because he claimed that light can't bounce off a rock. So set up a flashlight, set up a globe, set up a rock that I found in my garden, and I showed him how different phases can, the moon, different phases on the dark side of the moon with the sun on the opposite side, and you have a different side, and how it can be bounced, and how we can get the light can bounce off the moon, off a rock. You can see the different shadows, different points, and everything else. So this has been explained to Mikey and demonstrated to him. I don't know how many times. I said, including myself, I had to go. And he just completely just ignores all the evidence and all the demonstrations because it just doesn't fit his bias. I'm starting to think that Mikey himself is purposely lying and purposely ignoring all the evidence because he wants the earth to be flat so bad so that way he feels smart. And I think it's just getting to the point where, Mikey, who claims that he doesn't lie, can't tell the truth between lies and truth. And I think he's just gotten to the point now where if it doesn't fit his bias, he completely disregards it. And then he says whatever he thinks and he wants to be true. And that's what's happening here. So, yeah, Mikey, this is explained countless times. I've done a video about this months ago, just demonstrated it to you in physical, right in your face, and yet you've completely ignored it, and you just keep spurting your same bullshit.
No, I used to believe all this stuff too. I don't believe that stuff anymore. It's absolutely hilarious. Pardon? No, they haven't at all. No, space doesn't exist, man. It's all computer generated. It's all lies. Huh? It's all lies, man. You gotta go watch this stuff on the internet, man. It's literally computer generated. They film in green screens or in studios, film studios. They're literally lying to us. Space does not exist. I have recorded the firmament. Huh? No, how it proved that to me? You're just going to show me some crazy pictures on the internet, which are not real pictures. Yeah, I know. They're connected to the firmament. Yeah, I've recorded the firmament. There's a dome above. The body of mining is real, and I have recorded it. You can see that on my YouTube channel. I don't lie to people. We're right there. Above us. Can't see it right now because I don't have my binoculars. Huh? They're the creator. We've been created 1,000,000%. What? Us. We're standing here right now. The universe has been created, the clouds have been created, we have been created. This is not evolution.
You know, honestly, how much Mikey claims he's not religious, he sure spouts a lot of freaking religious rhetoric. I mean, it's a lot. So, I mean, Mikey, are you religious or not? Because you seem to preach a lot about religion and religious ideologies. It's kind of weird.
This kid's asking me 1,000,000 questions. There's my keys now. Here. That's the star Betelgeuse. Does that look like it's in space? It's not in space. Space does not exist. Let me show him this video here. I'll show you a video of a real star, okay? Okay, this is the star Sirius.
Yeah, that's in space.
No, it's not.
Well,
We're told that stars are a big ball of gas. Does that look like a big ball of gas to you?
well, yeah.
Well, no.
It's made of gas.
No, it's not. That's not a ball of gas. That's a frequency. Can you see it?
Yeah. Frequency. We don't have the camera quality.
Well, I mean, the kid's wrong one way that humans, like, we do have the camera quality. There's that massive telescope that was just built down in Chile. That's like something like, it's got like, what was it, like 36 billion megapixels, something like that, whatever, like the massive huge one. But does Mikey have that camera quality? No, he certainly doesn't. I think last I checked, he was using Galaxy S20 FE, which isn't a horrendous phone, but it's not the greatest quality. And then obviously Mikey's using this really shit methodology and using binoculars, which I've already proven that the way he's doing it is complete garbage. So does that thing look like a gas, like a ball of gas, like what a star is? No, because Mikey's optics and his methodology is shit, and he's getting a lot of chromatic aberration and distortion, which I've been able to replicate and prove that what he's doing is garbage. But is Sirius a massive ball of gas that's essentially a thermonuclear reactor with loads of like gravity holding it into like a massive huge sphere? Yes it is. Mikey, we know it is. We got different ways we've actually tested it and proved it. We know what it is, how it's burning, the light is coming from it, different frequencies, and using stuff like spectroscopy, which doesn't need a container, by the way. I know I'll probably get the comments down below, but yeah, it's we know what it is. It's not a question. We've been able to test this and confirm it loads of times. So yeah, sorry Mikey, but hate to burst your bubble, but yeah, the kid's right. It is a ball of gas, but your picture doesn't look like that because it's shit.
We don't have the. Actually, we do.
So you believe that like a creator made everything, right?
Yeah, I don't believe it. I know it. Greatest lie ever told, the globe. Not just me. There's millions of people that know this.
But there's billions of people who think that.
They believe. They don't know. They've been brainwashed. I used to think I was on a globe too, but I did the research and I found out that people lie to me all the time.
Yeah, Mikey's research is you watch a bunch of Dubé videos. I mean, all Dubé videos that have been debunked like millions of times. And yeah, Mikey, look, there's not millions of people that think the Earth is flat. There's maybe a few thousand, if that, and I'm being pretty generous. But there's 8 billion, nearly 8 billion people that know the Earth is definitely a sphere. All the technology relies on it. We got pictures of it, measurements of it. There is zero evidence that the Earth is flat. I've been asking for 5 years every single flat earther I see to give me empirical evidence of the flat Earth. They never can. The best they got is globe denial. They can deny reality all they like, but it isn't going to change. Reality is reality. The Earth's a sphere. Space is real. And flat earthers are stupid.
No, it hasn't. You prove it to yourself and you won't be able to do it.
Well, the sun goes like that. That wouldn't be able to happen on the ground.
It doesn't do that. It goes around.
So how does the sun go there?
Due to perspective. It's coming closer, okay? So this, you see that telephone pole here, the closer one? That looks really tall, hey? But you look at the one way far away, it looks smaller. It's not physically smaller, it just appears to be smaller.
Mikey's own reasoning, this completely falsified everything he just said. Because guess what the sun doesn't do, Mikey? It doesn't go smaller. It doesn't change angular size. So it's not moving away because, like you just said, as the telephone poles, the ones closer look big, and those ones further away look small. Guess what the sun doesn't do? It doesn't change. It doesn't go smaller. So, your assertion, your assumption, your hypothesis, you just falsified. Thanks for playing, Mikey. You're so stupid. All you ever do is just prove yourself wrong consistently all the time.
So this one looks higher, just like the sun.
But your theory about the moon,
I don't have theories.
Like the moon?
It's not a rock. No, it doesn't reflect light. You can't reflect light off a rock. You can illuminate the rock, but you can't reflect it.
Fuck's sakes, Mikey, that's exactly what is fucking happening. If you're illuminating the rock, that's light hitting the rock and bouncing off into your eyes. That's why you see it lit up. You fucking absolute fucking bellend. You're so fucking stupid. How do you think your eyes work? The light has to enter your eyes for you to see it. Light bounces off things and enters your eyeball. That rocks fucking... You said rocks don't reflect light. And then admitted that rocks reflect light. Fuck, you're such a fucking stupid person. How does anybody even believe anything you say?
It's not just any rock.
It's not just any rock, guys. Here, maybe we'll film it. Let's do this. I shouldn't be filming this guy anyways. But, yeah.
The sun illuminates the moon at night, and that's...
Prove that.
That's how,
Prove it.
because of moonlight.
What happens when the sun's not in the sky?
When the sun's not in the sky, it always is.
No, you have to have direct line of sight for light to illuminate something.
The sun might not be here, but...
So how does the moon reflect the sunlight if it's not there?
Because the Earth is a globe, the sun goes...
But there's no light coming through the sky to illuminate the moon. I don't see the light coming.
The sun sets and it goes here, and then the moon comes up, and they're reflected.
No.
Also, how did creator exist? There's been many... Evolution exists.
No, sorry, it doesn't.
So you're just proving like thousands of years of evidence for just a few.
It's a story. You have been lied to, I've been lied to, everybody's been lied to.
Translation? Yes, Mikey denies thousands of years of evidence. He denies all the evidence if it doesn't fit his story. Plain and simple. Mikey, you don't have any evidence. You just deny all the evidence you don't like.
They're trying to hide God or the Creator. You're very significant. Your life means something, okay? Are you going to destroy that or just read it? You want me to take it? You're like tearing it apart there.
I just like to play with things.
You should play with the truth and research how water works. And to really actually see if we're spinning, try to measure that. Try to measure the curvature. Airplanes fly straight and level in the sky. See how if they adjust for curvature, which they don't, I already know all this stuff.
Where would a creator be? So you're saying a creator would be outside of the stone?
I have no idea. The creator, we have to exist somehow.
Because of single cellular organisms.
Wow. No, we aren't. Well, whatever. I don't know where you're going with that one, but...
Yeah, that's pretty much just the kid just proved himself right there to be far more intelligent than Mikey. I mean, the fact that Mikey just had nothing about that because it's so far out of Mikey's wheelhouse, he just doesn't have a fucking clue. So this kid's more educated and more, has a better understanding of things than even Mikey does. Mikey, all he has is just his parroting flat earth rhetoric that he's heard from different flurfs or shit that he's made up to conform to his fantasy. Just stuff that he has from his imagination. That's all Mikey has.
Well, the universe has been proven.
No, it has not. It's CGI. Where's my other phone? Yeah. I'll show you. Pictures of Earth from space. Here. Okay, now look at this. Does that look like a real picture or does that look like a cartoon to you?
That's real.
This is a cartoon. Look at it.
Those are clouds.
The weird cloud patterns anyways, but that's not real pictures. See, that doesn't look like real ground. That's all fake. Where are the stars? Where are the planes? Where are the satellites rotating around the Earth?
They're too small to be seen.
Nah, bullshit. This is all garbage. It's a cartoon. It's not even a real picture, man.
How can you not see like?
Well, how can you not see that it's a cartoon? Look at it. It's not real. There's nothing there. Where are the cities?
It's not a satellite map.
Huh?
It's not a satellite map.
Satellites don't exist, so good luck with that one. Look at this one. This is horrible. All these are bad. Look at this. This is garbage. That's not even real clouds, man. Look at it. Come on.
That's like saying that you can't. That's like saying you can't see your house because.
No, I wouldn't say that. But there would be lights. Where are the night pictures of Earth? No, this one's the worst. Look at this. You got like some kind of a ring around it or something. This is not a real picture.
You can't see the lights from there.
You're just making up every excuse in the world.
No excuses.
Well, someday you'll understand that you've been lied to. Huh?
Look at a satellite map.
Oh my! You want to see a picture of a satellite? That's even funnier.
Search up a nightlight satellite.
Pictures of.
So as you hear there, the kid said, look up the nightlight satellite. So I thought, all right, let's have a little look at that. And lo and behold, found this. This is from the European Space Agency. And it's actually a bunch of shots from the International Space Station, from astronauts who took pictures of Europe. And look at all the city lights from all the different cities in Europe. So, yeah, not a problem. And the International Space Station is a satellite. So, yeah, Mikey, that took all of 5 seconds. Why couldn't you look up his evidence? Oh, yeah, that's right, because it destroys everything you're saying. And you don't like to do that, do you? You don't like to do your own research.
Satellites. Look at this. Watch this. Let's find a really good one. And then I'll ask you a question. What took that picture? What took that picture if that's a satellite?
Space station? Other satellites.
Space station.
Other satellites?
Other satellites? Okay, well, where are the other satellites then? Let's see if we can find them here. Anywhere in this picture here? Nope. And again, this is a cartoon. That's not a real picture.
That's a real picture.
No, it isn't. I'm sorry, buddy, but it's not. Here, this. You think that's real too? That looks horrible, man.
Mikey, he's got about the same amount of evidence as you do. You say it's a cartoon, he says it's real. You both haven't proved otherwise. The only thing is, you could be looking at artistic renditions because it's really hard to get pictures of satellites because they're actually quite small in relation to the Earth. But there are some. There is one that I think Dave McKeegan put together from different pictures from the last Artemis mission that was up there. I'll put it up here if you can find it. And you can see satellites moving around in this picture. Or there's obviously, you can look up when Starship goes up and they actually launch. They show that they can put out kind of mock Starlink satellites. Or there actually is video of SpaceX has put up in which they have actually launched packs of Starlink satellites. That's pictures of satellites in space. So it's not hard to find. There's loads of pictures like that. But there's obviously the one I have up here, if I can find it, is one that David Keegan did, and it shows a bunch of satellites orbiting around the Earth. And this is different shots that were taken from the last Artemis mission, which they had some really like professional DLSR cameras and iPhones that they used to take pictures of the Earth. And these are real pictures, and there's live streaming and everything of this. So flat earthers deny it, but this did actually happen. It is true, and it's real, and they have no evidence to debunk it because they can't, because it's real.
Yeah, he was, of course, Fred and Barney are real, probably.
Like, this is all fake. This is all like a facade by the government.
It is.
Why'd they be spending millions of dollars on something they can do something else?
Exactly. There are a lot of people dying and starving, but yet nobody wants to help them. Why? How about that? NASA gets like $70 million a day. You know that? A day.
Yeah, and they use it on research.
Why can't they help the humanity with that money?
All right, Mikey, obviously you haven't done your own research. You asked this question without even having a clue of what the fuck you're talking about. Right, okay, so NASA gets about $24.4 billion a year. It's a lot of money, right? But have you looked up to see how much foreign aid the U.S. pays out? Let me help you here. The U.S. pays, for all nations, U.S.'s foreign aid budget is higher than any other nation in the world. $60 billion. $60 billion. That's 2.5 times more than what NASA gets. Crazy, isn't it? You said, why don't they help humanity? I bet you NASA would almost kill for that, for even $60 billion, and have the foreign aid budget be $24.4 billion. So you ask why they don't help humanity. Certainly sounds like they are, because it's certainly, you know, not giving as much as they are. They're giving more of it to foreign aid than they are to NASA. Imagine what NASA would do to $60 billion. Wow. But you know, it's even more crazy. Look at what they pay out in military. The U.S. pays military. $60 billion doesn't sound that much now, does it? It's insane. It's a lot. I'm pretty sure the U.S. military is in the hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars. But you want to hear something really crazy? Look at the national debt interest. Just the interest, not the national debt. The interest payments the U.S. pays per year. It's in the trillions of dollars. Now, Mikey, I know it's really hard for you. Trillions is higher than billions, okay? So it's in the thousands of billions. Does that help you? I don't know if that helps you. It's probably too far for you, but whatever. So U.S. pays just in interest for the loans, for the national debt, just interest payments is in the trillions. Now, another thing you may not know, because I know you haven't done any research in this whatsoever, NASA's budget is fully approved for by Congress. They have to go in, apply for what programs they're gonna do, how much money they're gonna need, how much they need, and that's what they're allocated. So let's see Artemis for example, right? Let's say Artemis, they say we need $2 billion for Artemis this year to run an Artemis program. Congress goes, yeah, okay, you can have that. Cool. Now, that $2 billion is allocated only to Artemis. They can't use anything else. And they have to spend that money, because if they don't spend that money, let's just say they overestimated, not like they would, because they actually have to show how much they're going to pay, and they got to show budget and everything else. So let's just say they only spent $1.5 billion in the year. Let's say they got given $2 billion this year. They only spent $1.5 billion. Guess what? Next year, they're not getting that $2 billion anymore. No, because the U.S. Congress is going to look and go, oh, you spent $1.5 billion. Now they don't get to keep that other $500 million. No, that goes back. They can't spend anything else. They can't keep it. it goes back into the coffers of the U.S. Government. They can go and blow it on whatever the heck they want, give themselves raises, whatever the hell they want, you know, government. They'll do what the heck they want with it. They'll blow it on something stupid, probably. Probably buy some more, you know, weapons or something. It's the U.S. But they go next year, say they go 2027, and they go, we want $2 billion to Artemis. The U.S. Congress goes, you already spent $1.5 billion, we'll give you that. They go, well, we need 2. Nope, you don't get it. That's how NASA works. Everything they're given and they spend has to be fully documented, has to be fully accounted for, and is fully transparent. So if they don't use it on a certain program or it doesn't get used, they don't get to keep it, and they don't get it again, and they have to show why they need the money to get it. In fact, the budget has been cut a lot. If you look in relation to from the 1960s to now, budget NASA's on like 1-2% of what they got in relation. So, yeah, Mikey, not as much as you think it is.
Why can't they help people? You're from India?
Yeah.
Why can't they help people in India have better lives? Why can't they help the people here in Canada have better lives? Because they don't care. They're trying to fake.
Space research is important.
No, space research. You can't even help people on this Earth before they. That's just nonsense. Who cares about fake space?
Dozens of meteors have been seen or obstructed by
You're assuming they're meteors because they told you it was.
Oh.
I've recorded comets, and they're not comets. They're just lights in the firmament. I don't have many pictures on this phone. Let's see here.
Mikey likes to say that because he got one time he got a photograph of the comet Lehman last year, and it was out of focus, fuzzy, because his optics probably dirty, weren't very good, and he thinks it looks like a flashlight because obviously he's just doing like a video. He's actually stacking it and getting high quality imaging. So he thinks because it looks like a light sticking out of something, which it kind of really doesn't. It just looks like a fuzzy comet. He thinks that it's a light stick on the firmament. But here I'm going to put up a picture here from a astrophotographer who's using high quality equipment and actually really nice. And that's the exact same comet. What Mikey Smith claims looks like a light sticking out of a magical dome that he's never actually been able to prove. You tell me, does that look like a light sticking out of a dome? I think it looks more like a comet going through space, like what it is.
So this right here is a comet.
Yeah.
Now, that is not a ball of ice. That is a light in the firmament. There's some kind of a structure behind it. You can see it in the background here.
What's
that right here? You can see all this stuff here.
That's the comet.
Well, here, I'll just play the video here for you. Let's go back here.
I don't see you filming it.
No, I know. It's because it's glare. I got better. Oh, here. Okay, wait. Let's go. Okay, so here we go. See, there's a faint light there, and you can see that there's other things in the sky here. But now all these stars are side by side. Okay, like I told you, there's no depth to the stars, and you can see that there's some kind of a surface there. See that?
That's not a surface.
Yeah,
that's just space.
No, space doesn't have a surface.
And the reason why they're so close together is because you're seeing them from
No, you see, this guy's got answers for everything. This guy's funny.
It's true.
Kid's right. There's no surface there. All that really is maybe glare in his optics. He's got obviously out of focus and chromatic aberration, and I think it's just, he's got probably a bit of bleed onto the sensor because Mikey zooms in quite a bit, and yeah, it's just This is garbage, what it is.
So here, I'll show you Venus. I'll just let it focus here for a minute. That's Venus. The so-called planet. That's Venus.
That's not Venus.
Actually, it is.
This is Venus.
So Mikey's claiming that's Venus, his observation of Venus. That's not Venus. That's Venus. That's what Venus actually looks like. Not Mikey's garbage freaking light blob full of all sorts of aberration and out of focus. Fucking hell, terrible observation there, Mikey. Really, really bad.
That's not the planet.
Actually, it is. I don't lie to people.
Then why is there like a spike on top of it?
Exactly. I don't lie. I record the truth. The government lies.
What happened to the thousands of photos?
The what?
That's not Venus.
This guy's hilarious. That's not Venus. That's not. So that's not a tree then. I don't care. I don't care what you say. That's not a tree.
So how do I know that you didn't CGI these photos?
I don't do that. I don't have time for that. I wouldn't even know how to do
The
that.
government can also.
Actually, Mikey doesn't realize, so maybe he's lying. We don't actually know yet. That he does CGI all his shit. See, he uses CapCut, which actually he uses processing. He uses his Galaxy smartphone, which has got computer processing, and actually, so he actually does use some form of processing, and some of it, I think even S20 FE has a little bit of AI to it, he does definitely manipulates things using his CapCut. So he actually does kind of CGI things. He even fully admits it, but well, he doesn't admit he CGIs it. He fully admits that he manipulates things in CapCut to get the effects that he wants. So he does CGI it. He just doesn't out and out say it. But if you know what he's doing, well, watch what he's doing. He's CGIing it. He's faking it to get the results he wants. That's bad play, Mikey.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, but they lie. They steal your taxes.
Oh, the irony. One, Mikey, the kid's 12 years old. He doesn't pay taxes. Two, you live on disability, so taxes pay your living. So you're telling people that they steal taxes. Well, if the government's stealing taxes, you're benefiting from that robbery. And you're stealing the taxes from the people. Because you're living off of them. And then use it to do all this stupid dirt.
This kid's hilarious. Doesn't matter what I show him. It's not right. It's wrong.
Holy shit, Mikey. Fuck, that sounds just like somebody I know. Oh yeah, fucking you!
Yeah, you'll just, if you have time, just check out the videos, but I don't know, man. I don't lie to kids. Maybe parents do, but I don't, so. I don't. Well, because I don't. That's not who I am. I wasn't brought up to lie. I would be very, very highly punished if I was, if I lied.
So how can you credit your source and not like NASA's?
Well, we've got 6 or 7 people recording the stars just like me already, so it's.
NASA has hundreds of thousands.
No, they're lying.
Like,
I'm not.
How do I know that you're?
Because you can see. I just showed you a picture of Sirius on the back of the car, didn't I not?
Well, NASA could also do that same thing.
Sirius star. There. Is that real or is the one on the back real? That's just a bright white light. It's probably CGI. First of all, the star Sirius is not white or purple or blue or whatever else is going on in that picture. That is not real. On the back of the car is real.
Like, you can't discredit.
No, I can, because they lie. This is complete bullshit. This is all computer generated, man.
Mikey, dude, look, just because you think NASA lies and you say it, doesn't mean it's true, buddy. I'm sorry. You have to have evidence of that. You have to have empirical evidence of proof. You just claiming NASA lies is just your assertion. You're just making a claim. It's nothing, right? You can't prove NASA lies. and you see 2 or 3 people doing what, you know, the same technique you are, which is garbage, and I've already disproved it, and I've replicated it, and I've explained how it's just so was done methodology using shitty optics. So your methodology and your stars have already been disproven, and Astro Kate did the same sort of thing using binoculars, and she explained how she done it and how it was once again just really shitty methodology, and it was how it was just done wrong. So Mikey, here's the difference, buddy. Nobody has proven, no flat earther has ever proven that NASA lies, but people have proven you are lying, and people have proven how your method is crap, how you get in chromatic aberration. And yes, it is chromatic aberration. Don't believe me? Google chromatic aberration of stars and you'll pretty much see your stars. I've done it, I've searched it up. So yeah, you're a proven liar. NASA isn't. I'm gonna go with where the proof is and the evidence is. Sorry.
So there you go, hokey pokey.
The nervous laughter as Mikey's literally getting cooked in a sort of a debate by a 12-year-old. It's awesome. Mikey's feeling really uncomfortable. You see the nervous laughter through this whole thing because, you know, he just can't seem to get one over on this 12-year-old.
Get some. You're just gonna have to do the research.
Like, your arguments don't make sense. Like,
Well, neither do yours.
Like, every time you bring up a point, you just say it's fake. Like, you don't.
Well, because it is.
Why? How do you know?
Well, you're not looking at the pictures. You can see that they're computer generated. Because they're not real.
Mikey, I don't think you're getting this. And this kid's pointed this out to you, and you're just too thick to realize it. The thing is, you are claiming they're not real. You're claiming the CGI. But you have not actually shown any empirical evidence to support your claims. So you just making claims about this and just saying it means nothing to this kid. This kid sees straight through you and your lies. Because he's pretty much said, why should I believe you and not believe them? You're just saying things, saying that they're lying, but you haven't shown any evidence. No, you have nothing to support your claims. And yet NASA has been showing the same thing over and over and over. And, you know, all these scientists, all these educated people doing this for decades and decades and decades. And they're all supported by everybody else. There's 63 different space agencies in the whole entire globe. And they all come to the same conclusions, even though they're independent and separate from each other and have separate governments. So who are you going to believe? Some random freaking bald-headed freaking crackpot that's just sitting with a sign on top of the roof of his car? Or the hundreds of thousands of people who have dedicated their lives to this and are bringing the facts and evidence? I know what I'm going with. I'm going with what's been empirically proven, and not just what some crackpot just claims with a sandwich board on the side of the road.
I've recorded real things. I'm not lying to the public. I'm not lying. I don't get paid for this.
Well, they have different types of cameras.
It doesn't matter. They're lying. They don't even use cameras. They're using computer software. This guy here, Robert Simmons, iPhone 4. This is the guy who created. See, he created the iPhone 4 image. That's created. It's not a real photo. It's just been created. He took pictures that were taken of the Earth and stitched them together and put them into a sphere.
Mikey, so first you said that the 2004 iPhone image that was put on there by Roger Simmons, which is actually a recreation of the 1972 Blue Marble, which was actually done on Kodak film, was taken off a Hasselblad camera way before CGI, photoshopping and shit. Which you guys, you'll just deny anyways, but you can go see it. So you said it's not a photograph, and it said it's a series of photographs. So what is it? Because, you know, Mike, you do know a mosaic, a whole bunch of photographs, and the mosaic are put together to make one large photo. It's still a photograph. Take your phone, let's say you got a Galaxy smartphone. You ever put it in panoramic view You start on one side and you kind of do this and you go along, you're taking a picture. That's taking a whole bunch of pictures. And then stitching them together side by side by side to create one long picture. Now, are you saying that that picture, if I did a panoramic of this park right now, that'd be a fake picture and that this park doesn't exist? Really? Because essentially what I'm doing right now, if I'm doing this, taking a video, it's a whole bunch of photographs all being stitched together in series to make a video. Dude, this is just basics. Like, you know, some guy who claims to be some sort of expert in like astrophotography and photography, you sure don't know fucking much, do you? But yeah, as for the Richard Simmons thing, that actually was taken from, funny enough, from a satellite. And it was actually taken, and it was done in strips as the satellite went around the Earth. It took different pictures and they stitched it together. So, you know, always bring up to something about some cloud patterns on there. Yeah, you know what? Clouds move. And as that went around, took several hours at some points, in that section, that cloud had moved from this area to this area. So it was the same cloud pattern that had just moved over several hours as the satellite went orbited the Earth and took pictures of it. And why? And then the question is, he said it was made into a sphere. So why is it that there's a bunch of pictures which you claim is of the flat Earth, which, so then you admit the satellites exist and they're taking pictures. Why does it work so well on the globe into a sphere? Why does it work then? Because if the Earth is flat and they put it into a sphere, it'd be all distorted. Land masses would look all weird, distances wouldn't work, blah blah blah. But it does, especially in the southern hemisphere. Your flat Earth completely falls apart. I would love to have you explain how southern flight routes work on your flat Earth, because I know how they work perfectly on the globe. That'd be interesting.
This guy here worked for NASA, okay? He's called AKA Blue Marble because he created this picture for the iPhone 4. It's not an actual photo. There are no real photos.
So he still used other pictures of
No, of the flat Earth.
of the round Earth.
No, there is no.
It's a sphere,
no, it's not a sphere. There's no proof of that. The government has lied.
Then at the bottom of the Earth.
What about the bottom?
If we're at the top part, then we'll the bottom part.
Why do you assume there's a bottom?
Look, if there's any chance of Mikey actually convincing this kid, which I don't think there really was, this kid is pretty much wise to him from the beginning. Mikey completely fucking lost him there. Mikey asking, because he asked what's on the bottom of the Earth, because if there's a top, there has to be a bottom, right? It's something in reality we live in. So what's on the bottom? I mean, you see, said there's what's bottom. Why does that have a bottom? That kid knew he had him beat. Mikey had nothing, and everything he said up to this point, you knew completely that he had him done. That it was just bullshit, and that Mikey was lying to him.
Because every flat thing has two sides.
But again, you're thinking that it's a disc floating in space or something.
Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting theory.
How would it have two? It would have two sides. It's a monogon.
I don't know what you're talking about. I join reality and I just see the things as they come to me.
How would there physically not be a bottom side to a two-sided Earth?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's it, Mikey. You're cooked, dude. You lost. This kid completely wrecked you. Yeah. Like, you get to the point now you have no idea what he's talking about. A 12-year-old is smarter than you. You know the whole thing, are you smarter than an 8th grader, Mikey? You really aren't. I can see why you don't debate, people like me, or anybody that has any kind of knowledge. Because, look, if you're losing against 12-year-olds, you wouldn't have a chance against anybody that has even the slightest amount of education on the subject. I can see why you're avoiding me, because this is already embarrassing for you as it is.
So you're saying there's only one side of this Earth?
Yes, the one we can see. Why do you think there's an underneath?
So you're saying that every single 2D shape actually only has one side?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because, like, a flat Earth, you're saying it's a circle, right?
Yeah, but it's not flat like this piece of paper. Like this. What if it's just this? And then Who knows what exists after that? I have no idea.
Also, the military theory doesn't.
Exactly. The military gets trillions of dollars to lie to us too. Do you know who created the internet?
Yeah.
Who? The military?
The military? Oh, the military didn't have a creator. It was multiple people.
Yeah, the military, yeah.
Vinton Cerf and Bob Kahn are the ones who invented the communications protocols, and Tim Berners-Lee is the one who actually ended up inventing the World Wide Web. But none of them were actually military. Tim Berners-Lee actually worked for CERN, and Vinton Cerf and Kahn actually worked for a research lab. So it actually wasn't the military whatsoever. It was actually private people and scientists who invented the web. And there's other people added to it, but they're the first two, Cerf and Kahn. Cerf and Kahn were the ones who invented the communications protocol, and Tim Berners-Lee is the one who actually invented the World Wide Web. And I believe it was actually first invented for universities to communicate and pass information back and forth to each other. It was first used and then utilized, and eventually became mainstream and open to the public after a few years.
Also, how they have funds?
I don't know. I don't deal with that stuff, so.
Also, how do polls exist?
I told you that there's only one poll.
But people have been to both.
Again, you can't prove that, you know?
That's pretty good from you, Mikey, because you haven't proved a single fucking thing you've actually made or claimed. And people have been to both poles. Amundsen and Scott were the first ones to make it to the South Pole, which now you have the Amundsen and Scott Station. And people have been to the North Pole many times. In fact, there's actually marathons that are there every year. There'd be one going to the North Pole about this time. It would be about this time. And then during the solstice down in the winter, like when TFE went down there, there was the Antarctic marathon there as well. Yeah, but people do go to the South Pole all the time. Yeah, it happens. There's in fact, didn't Top Gear actually went to the magnetic pole in cars, drove to them, funny enough. One of them took a dog sled. Quite funny, good episode. I enjoyed it. I missed Top Gear. I like that. I digress though. And so people do go across the Antarctica and go past the South Pole all the time, because it's obviously a continent with rock underneath it. So which the North Pole is literally just if it's not frozen ice, then it's just ocean, because there actually is no land mass up there. Yeah, but people have been to both of those many times throughout history. Look at Mikey, do some research.
So,
Good.
no. Because you have to go to the South Pole and you can't do that, okay?
Well then, how would, like, let's say you're flying from Canada to Singapore.
Yeah.
You're supposed to, if the Earth is round like this, you go the other way, but if it's flat, you go there.
Yeah, you fly straight and level.
Alright, so I decided to, because this kid's pointing this out, I think he's using something on top of Mikey's car there, so I'll put it on. So this is what he's talking about for if it's on the flat map. About where Singapore is to Saskatchewan, right? There's no borders on this, but they're pretty close, right? So that would be the route they take, because you want to do the shortest route. Flights want to, obviously airlines want to do the shortest, quickest route to make the most amount of money, use the less amount of fuel, blah, 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 right? So that should be, well, it'd be on the flat map. Now, what would it be like on the globe? And you want to look and see if I can find a flight route, okay? So here's what it is on the globe. This is the route that it would take if, with a spherical Earth. Now let's look and see if I can find a flight route that would go from Singapore to Canada. Alright, so I know I said to Saskatchewan, there's actually flights that go from Singapore to Saskatchewan, Canada. They do go to British Columbia and land in Vancouver. So that's why I'm using this one here instead. I know I've used Saskatchewan before. I realized when I looked at the flights, there isn't any flights go there, so that's why I was using this in the first place. So close enough. The kid did say from Singapore to Canada. So as you can see, that's there. So it's going from there to there. See distance. Now here's a flight route. This is from direct flights, and you can see the flight path. And holy shit, would you look at that? It matches the globe on the route. It doesn't work on flat Earth though. The flat Earth route, yeah. How come that didn't work? How come it didn't go straight across over the North Pole? And so yeah, that's why the kid's asking that. Unfortunately, Mikey is completely deflected from that because he realized that he couldn't explain it. Because a lot of flight routes, most flight routes don't work on a flat map unless you look at a very local flight, to which then the shape of the Earth is as much of a factor because you're only staying very, very local. And usually a lot of times flat earthers rely on like very small, short flights, small aircraft. They don't look at like long distance air travel because it usually 99.9% of the time it destroys the flat Earth.
Well, that's
Also,
how planes
from a
fly,
plane,
straight and
how-
level.
From a plane, how would you not be able to see the firmament?
Well, you're not high enough. Maybe you can. I don't know. I've never done that in a plane, so maybe you can. But planes fly straight and level like this, okay? That's their orientation. That's how they're supposed to fly. They don't adjust for curvature. They don't dip their nose as they're flying over the curvature, because there is none.
We don't have to.
Well, they would have to if there's curve.
Because the Earth has a gravitational pull.
No, again, you can't prove that.
The planes don't just pull off the Earth.
This guy is funny. Is he a plant or what? Seriously. There's like two cop cars here, guys. And they're not coming for me, which is good. Yeah. I'm just showing you. Where's my, I have books in here. But it doesn't matter what I show you. You're just going to think it's real anyways. Look, I'll show you some more garbage. You think that looks real? That looks like a melted penny to me. You know what a penny is?
Yeah.
A coin, melted coin. That's not real. That's totally fake. This is not real. That's computer generated. It's garbage.
Well, if you look at the sources, these pictures have been.
No, you gotta get out of your brainwashed head, buddy.
Now that's the thing, Mikey. He's not actually have a brainwashed head. He's saying you need to look at the sources of the material. So you're claiming it's fake. He's going, well, let's see the source. This is something flat earthers never do. They just take everything on face value or what they're told to do. It's actually normally flat earthers who exhibit a lot of brainwashed tendencies. Because they'll just parrot whatever they're told and just believe everything without actually looking into it and verifying it. Like this kid just said, you need to look at the source. You need to verify the source is a credible source. Does it have citations to support it, stuff like that. Quite smart. This kid's gonna go places. Unfortunately, Mikey, well, you're pretty much done for, aren't you, bud?
Just look at this. This is not real, okay? This is not real. This looks. Well, it doesn't look real. Look at it. This is not real. What is this? What is this? These aren't stars. I know what stars look like, and these aren't stars. Okay, this is not. What is this? This is the Andromeda galaxy. Okay, galaxies don't exist. I've never recorded one in the sky. This is complete garbage here. This looks like. Okay, cool, good. That.
All right, yeah, the kid had to go. I'm surprised he stayed there as long as he did. But yeah, he definitely gave Mikey a good run, and Mikey was actually quite embarrassed. Mikey looked pretty bad, to be honest. This 12-year-old absolutely cooked him, and got to the point that Mikey was just, the nervous laughter was coming out, and and just making loads of fallacious claims, and everything the kid said, Mikey's like, no, that's fake, because it goes against Mikey's narrative. He has no evidence it's fake. He just makes claims. As for the last point there, Andromeda Galaxy, I myself have been in the observatory and watched them look and focusing on Andromeda Galaxy, and then I went outside with my phone, because Mikey likes mobile phones, pointed my phone up. It was very, very dark. It was pretty awesome. And I took a picture in the night sky, and in the night sky, where that telescope was pointed in the observatory, staying outside the observatory. I took a picture, and lo and behold, I see an Andromeda Galaxy in my photograph. I have a photograph I took myself with a mobile phone, no binoculars, no telescope, nothing, just my phone, and I took a picture of the Andromeda Galaxy within a bunch of stars. And you can see that on my YouTube video, my pictures if you want. I think I'll put it up as a post. So pretty cool. But yes, galaxies do exist. I have personally seen a galaxy live video of a galaxy, because he actually put it up, and then he put up live stacking, so which is he's taken loads of pictures, took like a whole 1,000 pictures all at once. I watched him taking it, which is a video. That's what video is, a whole bunch of pictures lined up in line with each other. And I seen the Andromeda Galaxy. So I myself I personally went out and verified where it was and took a picture of it myself. So that's it. Yeah, I said you can see why Mikey doesn't really go into debates or anything else, because he knows that he absolutely destroyed. It's pretty obvious when he went to MC Tunes live and talked to Quickie Blinder, and after what 20 minutes, it wasn't even a debate. They were promised a debate. Mikey got triggered and rage quit because he just can't handle himself. He cannot, I think maybe self-aware enough to realize that he doesn't have the intelligence or the intestinal fortitude or the conviction to actually support any of his claims. So that's about it. Thanks for watching my videos. Don't forget to follow me, subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up so you know I'm putting more videos. Comment down below, what do you think of this? Do you think Mikey got absolutely embarrassed? Definitely wasn't convincing that kid. That kid was on to him pretty quick. Remember people, Earth's definitely a globe, space is definitely real, but don't forget, stay curious. I'll see you again. Thanks for watching.
I'm mentally disturbed. I have problems, folks. I'm mentally disturbed. I have problems. I gotta go to the hospital, guys. I need help.